Good evening, everyone. Continuing Miss Anon's story. Well, after Mr. Anon, before he left, Mrs. Anon met up with him to discuss the situation. And she laid it on the line that, listen, you can no longer call to be invited to into her home because of the situation. He is married. That's what he needs to focus on. He has to find other place to go and stay whenever he's arrived in the country. So she told him that. He accepted. He said he understand. She told him that anything to do with the children or any family members, that is okay. But otherwise to that, everything else is off limits. So he agreed. So when she think everything was going fine, Miss Anon left, then returned again about 6 months after and contact her again. This time, not immediately, but he was there like in the country for a couple of weeks or so, like a month or so. And then eventually one day he called her to say, you have some stuff to drop off. She says, okay, for the kids, things like that. So she says, okay. So when he arrived, there he was with his suitcase again, which was hidden. And but she opened her door, and she, right at the doorway, she saw him with a suitcase, and she asked, where are you going with that? Then he says, oh, I'm going to a friend, because wherever he was staying was not suitable for him and things like that. And she said, oh. So she just took whatever he had to bring, and she just closed the door and tell him, okay, well, I hope you find some place. And that was the end of that. So he left again, went back to the country. But again, this is something where she's showing him that it is really and truly over. So I think Mr. Anon is getting the getting the realization that it is finally done with Miss Anon. But even before, I should say, like, he left, but all that was settled. And so, but one incident took place, which was very unusual. Miss Anon went on a vacation, and Mr. Anon, I think, was trying to get hold of her for some reason, couldn't, because Miss Anon was not even, enjoying herself on her vacation, not taking any unusual phone calls. And then one day she decided to answer one of the calls. That was Mr. Anon, looking very annoyed, wants to know where she was, because when she answered, it was like on WhatsApp video. It was a video chat, so she thought was something very important happened with one of the kids. So when she answered, there he was, wanted to know where he could tell her, I see that like you're in some hotel of some sort. And she goes, yeah. So what that has to do with you? And he seems very upset. So anyway, she just cut off the conversation. She asked anything to the kids. No, he just wanted to say a hi. So she's like, okay, well, hi and bye. And that was the end. So after that, concluding everything, ladies and gentlemen, since then they are, Mr. Anon and Mrs. Anon are very cordial. At this point, I think he gets the answer or the realization that it is finally over. So drop your comments after this. And after this is the last one. There is more, but I just cut it down in short. So we will discuss once I gather everyone answers, and I will post when we shall do together and discuss Mr. and Mrs. Anon's story. Thank you so much for listening.